you used to work in fashion, and you moved over to become vegan queen.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Well, it kind of happened organically. I decided that the job I had in fashion, I was a fashion assistant, was not for me. And at the same time, I had the idea for Babycakes, which was to open a bakery that was free of wheat, gluten, dairy, eggs, and to not use refined sugar. And I did that because I myself have multiple food allergies, and I wish that something like that existed. And it all happened in just about a year from the idea to the shop actually opening in the Lower East Side.
So that was mostly your inspiration, is your own health consciousness.
Correct. It wasn't just to open a bakery that was vegan or gluten-free, but to also be incredibly healthful and to use ingredients that I use myself at home.
And what are you going to make for us?
I really want to make the brownies for you guys, if that's okay. So I'm making the gluten-free brownies from the app, and we start out with just some rice flour, either brown or white is fine. Starch, so I use potato starch. It's a good workout. And then I add some unsweetened cocoa powder, and it's important to get the unsweetened cocoa powder because we're adding a sugar to the recipe already. So if you don't, if you put a sweetened cocoa powder in, it's just going to be too sweet. And I add some sugar, and this is vegan sugar, so that means it isn't processed with bone ash, and it's very minimally processed. It's basically just from the cane and ground up. And then, of course, we need some salt to bring out the sweetness. And another key to gluten-free baking is to add xanthan gum, because if you don't, your baked goods will fall apart. Xanthan gum binds it together and thickens things up and adds viscosity. A little bit of baking soda and baking powder to help give the brownies rise. And then it's just a quick whisk to get everything incorporated together. We add melted coconut oil, and it's important to make sure your coconut oil is melted. After that, we add melted coconut oil, and it's important to make sure your coconut oil is melted because we're not using eggs. You have to add moisture back in, and it also helps it bind as well. And then we add our vanilla. It's important to use a really good vanilla. I have cheaped out in the past when I was home and went to the bodega by my house, and all they had was very cheap vanilla, and I used it. I wouldn't recommend it. And then we whisk that together. Hot water. And then we just mix it up, and it looks like your typical brownie batter. And then my favorite part is adding the chocolate chips, and the chocolate chips add little pockets of melty chocolate into the brownie.